By the summer of 1788, a fragile nation stood incomplete. 8 states had agreed, but one more was required. In a modest building in New Hampshire, the future of the Constitution quietly waited. This document promised unity, but it also demanded trust. Farmers, merchants, and sailors all felt the weight of the decision. Though no voices echoed publicly, the tension was real. The debate was not loud, but it was decisive. If New Hampshire voted yes, the Constitution would finally take effect.
If it refused, the young nation would remain uncertain and divided. One state now carried the weight of 9. And history was watching.
Across the young republic, uncertainty lingered in the air. 8 states had spoken, but the nation was still incomplete. The Constitution required 9 states to stand. Without the 9th, it was only ink on paper.
Merchants paused their plans. Leaders waited for certainty.
The promise of unity hung quietly, suspended between agreement and doubt. All eyes turned north, to a small state with a decisive voice. Printers waited for headlines, news that could confirm a nation's future. A single refusal could delay everything. A single approval could secure it all.
The country held its breath and waited for one more yes.
If New Hampshire turned away, the Constitution would remain powerless.
Months of debate could collapse in silence. A nation left unfinished.
Farmers feared distant authority, but they feared disorder even more.
Merchants depended on stability. Without unity, trade could falter. Beyond the towns, others watched carefully. The balance of power would affect them too.
A weak union meant fragile defense. Division invited danger.
The state itself was divided. Trust was not easily given.
One vote could delay a nation. One refusal could reshape history.
New Hampshire was not united. It was divided by belief and fear.
Some believed the Constitution meant strength. Others saw danger in distant power.
They argued for stability, for a government strong enough to survive. They warned of control, of freedoms quietly slipping away. In the countryside, doubt spread quickly. Power from afar felt unfamiliar.
In the ports, the need for order was urgent. Trade demanded certainty. Ordinary families felt the weight. Their future depended on this choice.
The lines were drawn, and the decision grew closer. The Constitution was clear. 9 states were required for it to stand.
Not 8. Not almost.
8 had already agreed, but the threshold had not yet been crossed.
Without the 9th state, the new government could not begin.
Trade depended on unity. Uncertainty meant hesitation.
Defense required coordination. A divided nation invited weakness. New Hampshire was not just another vote. It was the deciding weight.
9 states or nothing. The choice was unavoidable.
The decision did not come quickly. New Hampshire hesitated.
Doubt lingered in the room. No one wished to rush history.
Outside, the people waited. But answers did not come.
The presses remained silent. There was nothing yet to print. In the countryside, uncertainty grew. Delay felt like danger.
In the ports, patience wore thin. Commerce waited on a signature. The vote was postponed. The tension only deepened.
Time was running, and the nation was still waiting.
Something began to shift. The hesitation was fading. Private discussions had changed minds. Compromise quietly took shape.
Promises of future amendments offered reassurance. Liberty would not be abandoned.
Confidence began to replace fear. The air felt different.
The question remained the same, but the answers were changing.
Stability was within reach. Only one step remained.
The weight of decision felt lighter. Resolve replaced uncertainty.
The moment had arrived. New Hampshire was ready to choose. June 21, 1788. The day had finally come.
No celebrations, no certainty.
The room felt heavier than before. Every man understood the stakes. One by one, they chose.
The numbers began to form. History measured in quiet moments.
The balance tipped. The threshold was crossed.
New Hampshire had voted. The Constitution was secured.
The 9th state, a nation officially born.
The vote had passed. New Hampshire's decision echoed across the states. Merchants and citizens debated. Some rejoiced, others remained cautious.
Families felt the impact. Stability was now a tangible hope.
Trade routes were secured. Commerce could finally move with confidence.
Leaders knew the weight had lifted. The 9th state had fulfilled its role.
The flag stood as a symbol of unity achieved, of a nation born.
The decision resonated far beyond Portsmouth. Every state felt the shift.
New Hampshire secured its place in history, and the Constitution now had life.
Not every state had joined yet. 2 voices remained uncertain. Debates continued slowly. Fear of distant power held many back. Across the coast, Rhode Island hesitated. The nation waited for agreement.
Merchants and citizens alike wondered, would unity ever come?
Life carried on quietly. But history hung in the balance.
Every message mattered. Every vote carried weight.
Uncertainty tested patience, but it strengthened resolve.
Menacing states loomed over the nation. But the path forward was clear.
The vote of New Hampshire rippled beyond its borders. A nation's course was forever changed.
Governments now had a framework. Laws could be created, not just debated.
Trade routes became stable. Economies could grow with confidence.
Defense of the states gained structure. A united front was now possible.
Ordinary people felt the shift. Security and hope grew quietly.
Promises of future improvements kept citizens engaged. Change was possible within the new system. Communication and trade expanded. States could now work together. The Constitution was alive, and the nation's path had been set. New Hampshire's decision was more than a vote. It became a symbol of courage and responsibility.
The people understood their impact. One state could shape a nation. Future generations would learn this lesson. Every voice carries weight.
The Constitution survived because of one state. The ninth state ensured its life.
Their legacy was stability, order replacing uncertainty.
New Hampshire's vote echoed across the colonies. History remembered that moment. The flag became more than fabric. It represented unity achieved. From this small state, a nation found its path. New Hampshire's legacy endured forever.
News of New Hampshire's vote spread quickly. Hope mixed with cautious relief.
Leaders and citizens alike paused. Could the nation now unite?
Letters carried the news far and wide. Every community felt the weight of this decision.
Printers hurried to record the moment. The ninth state had secured history.
Ports and trade routes responded immediately. Commerce could now proceed with certainty.
Quiet conversations reflected on the future. Optimism tempered by caution.
Even those who served in defense took note. Order and unity were finally within reach.
The nation absorbed the moment, and the path toward unity grew clearer.
Even after New Hampshire's historic vote, some states had yet to ratify the Constitution.
North Carolina remained cautious. They debated the balance of power.
Rhode Island hesitated the longest. Fear of distant government held many back.
Each vote mattered. Each decision shaped the young nation.
Even defense forces watched carefully. A divided nation could be vulnerable.
Trade and economy waited on agreement. Uncertainty could stall growth.
The remaining states held their councils. Debate continued long into the evening.
The Constitution had begun its journey. But unity was still incomplete. On June 21, 1788, a quiet decision changed everything. A small state carried a nation forward.
No fireworks filled the sky. Yet history had already shifted.
The debates had ended. But their consequences were only beginning.
9 states had spoken, and the Constitution now lived.
A united defense became possible. A divided future was avoided. Trade would grow, and stability would follow.
Ordinary lives felt safer. Hope replaced uncertainty.
New Hampshire became the 9th state, and the United States became real.